We're always told that discipline is all about that public grind, right? The visible struggle. But what if the most powerful form of discipline is the one that operates completely in the shadows? What if the kind of success that really changes the world isn't loud at all, but is actually chillingly quiet? Today, we're going to dive into that hidden, super potent force.
Okay, so let's just jump right into this. I mean, we're living in this era of hustle culture, right? Where it feels like posting about your grind is almost as important as the grind itself. You know the type. The loudest motivational speakers, the super visible entrepreneurs. We see them as these shining examples of discipline. But here's the question. Is that real, or is it all just a performance?
And this gets to the core idea we're talking about. The most advanced, the most effective discipline. It's an internal engine. It's not some big external show. We're calling it a dark side, but not because it's evil or anything like that. No. It's dark because it's unseen. It operates so deeply, so consistently that most people don't even know it's there.
All right, so to really get a handle on this quiet power, we've got to break down a pretty popular myth first. And it all starts with understanding the massive difference between two very, very different forces, that fleeting spark of motivation and the unstoppable engine of what we'll call automaticity.
Think about it like this. Motivation, that's an emotion. It's a powerful spark, for sure. It's absolutely fantastic for starting a fire, but it's super unreliable for keeping it burning, right? Because it always needs more fuel from the outside. But automaticity, well, that's a whole different beast. It's a system. It's literally neurological. It's consistent, it's self-sustaining, because it gets hardwired directly into your brain.
Yeah, this quote just nails it. Think about a master chef in the kitchen. They don't have to try to chop an onion perfectly. The action is just instinctive. It just flows. The knife is an extension of their hand. Now the beginner? They're constantly fighting themselves, thinking about every single slice. The master, though, they simply are. That discipline has become a core part of their personal operating system.
And look, this isn't some kind of magic trick. It's straight up biology. It all starts with conscious effort, which feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill, right? High friction. But when you repeat that action over and over, you are literally carving new pathways in your brain. And eventually, that action becomes so ingrained, so low friction, that it just happens. It executes itself without any internal debate, without any fanfare. It's not about having more willpower. It's about better programming.
Okay, so now that we've got that foundation, let's go even deeper. Let's explore the next level, which is honestly way more profound. This is where we get into that truly dark and seriously powerful territory. We're talking about the kind of discipline that works entirely without needing an immediate reward or any external validation.
You know, so many of us are trapped by this, and we don't even realize it. We basically become like Pavlov's dogs. We do something, and then we instinctively wait for the bell to ring. And what's the bell today? It's the like, the comment, the pat on the back. That's what makes us feel like our effort mattered. We actually train ourselves to need an audience just to validate our own work.
But the people who are truly formidable, man, they operate on a completely different level. Their entire driving force shifts. That need for applause from the outside, it just shrinks until it's basically nothing. It gets replaced by this absolute, unshakable commitment to an internal purpose. They do the hard thing simply because it's the thing that has to be done, for a reason that only they define.
See, at this level, the reward is the act itself. The satisfaction comes from the doing, not from getting recognized for it. It's this incredibly profound form of self-possession. The real gratification is that quiet internal feeling, that knowledge that you are moving forward, brick by brick, totally aligned with your own goals, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
So, what's the end game here? What's the ultimate result of this silent, dopamine-free discipline? Well, it's how real, lasting things actually get built. It's the patient, steady work of creating what you could call invisible empires. These incredible legacies of skill or knowledge or art that are built completely out of sight.
So you've got one group, and they're busy curating the performance of work. They're posting about their grind, celebrating their hustle, looking for validation for every tiny step they take. So much of their energy is focused on the spectacle, on making sure that everyone sees how hard they're trying.
But while all that show is happening, the silent architects are actually just doing the work. They are tapping into the immense compounding power of consistent internal action to build something real, something that's going to be standing long after the applause dies down and the social media posts are buried and forgotten.
And their method? It's so simple, it's almost deceptive. It's not about some grand, heroic gesture. It's about showing up every single day, especially when no one is watching. It's about doing the deep, sometimes really boring work. It's leveraging that consistent automatic action, operating without an audience. It's just building brick by consistent brick.
All right, so how do we take this big idea and actually make it real in our own lives? Let's pull all of this together and turn it into something you can actually use, like a personal challenge.
So here's the takeaway. The next time you see some extraordinary achievement, I want you to resist the urge to look for the loud public show. Instead, understand that behind it, almost certainly, is a quiet, automatic engine. A discipline that was performed with zero cheerleaders, fueled by a purpose so deep that it became the ultimate internal power.
And that leaves us with one last, really crucial question for you. This isn't about what you're going to broadcast or what you're going to post about. It's about what you are going to build in the quiet, when absolutely no one is watching. So what silent discipline will you start to cultivate?